I've started recording and we'll get going in three, two, one.
Hi, welcome to the MEP Scoop, your weekly dose of MEP related information to keep you in the know. I'm Diego,
And I'm Bongai.
and this week we wanted to take a minute to talk to our prospective students who've been admitted to the university but maybe haven't accepted yet. We know it's a really important decision, so we wanted to talk through a bit of our experiences and see if we could maybe give you some insight into how we made our choice to come here and hopefully get you to do the same. So let's start off by asking, why did we come here? Why did you come here, Bongai?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of well, not really a long story, but basically when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to go and become a doctor eventually, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to major in. And it wasn't until like upperclassmen time in high school that I realized that engineering might be something that I was interested in. So I was able to actually come to U of I through high school visitation and learn a little bit more about students' experiences. And that definitely sold me on the idea of coming to U of I and engineering in particular. I knew even if I don't become a doctor, it would be a field that would be super interesting and something that I'd still be able to get a lot out of if I wanted to stick with that route. So that's why I ended up going to U of I. And ever since I've been here, it's been a very great experience. I'd say it's a pretty well balanced, holistic experience if you're looking for a college like that. But what about for you, Diego?
Again, I think a similar thread in our story is it was more so upperclassmen of when I was an upperclassman in high school that I kind of decided that engineering was something that I wanted to take a look at closer. I was pretty disillusioned before that, but it was a little bit weird. It was through marching band that I actually got the opportunity to come down to U of I several times throughout my high school career. I think every year actually. And in part of that, I got to see a bit of the campus culture and get a feel for for lack of a better word, vibe on campus. And seeing that really made me feel like, okay, this is somewhere I can be. And then it was more so towards my upperclassmen years where I realized like, oh my gosh, not only do I like this school or how it feels to be here, but it's also like an amazing school for engineering. And it just happens to be like 2 hours south of where I live. That for me was insane. And just a quick side note, I'm still salty that I never did HSV. It is an amazing program. Yes, for any high schoolers out there, I would highly suggest it. Um, but yeah, and I think that's continued into my experience here, the idea being that I enjoy the people that I'm around and I enjoy the environment that I've been placed in. It's one thing if you're put into a program in a school and you're just like, okay, I have to get through this, I have to get my degree. But it's another thing completely if you enjoy the people that you're with every day, the people that you're taking your classes with, the people in your extracurriculars, the people that you make the MEP scoop with. It's been great, honestly, and it's continued from that initial impression of, oh my gosh, I really like the vibe here. But what about for you, Vanga? How's it been?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say like the community aspect has been huge in my just like enjoying being an Illini. And specifically, even with like MEP, I know that I found a lot of people who I've just like connected with over the years. And it even came to the point that, like Diego was salty, he didn't participate in high school visitation. I'm salty, I didn't participate in Embark, which is basically an opportunity for students to move in a little bit earlier and kind of like explore campus with MEP. But anyways, I was able to kind of give back by being a mentor. I was on the welcoming committee, which Diego is currently on. So it's definitely been a very nice experience.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that too, MEP has definitely played an insane part in my college career so far. People talk about how like organizations or RSOs kind of impact the college experience, but MEP and SHIP too, it's defined my college experience. Like my friends, my roommates I met through SHIP, the people I take my classes with. I would not be here if it were not for the resources that MEP provides and the connections, because it's a really holistic thing. You don't find many things like that on this campus or many college campuses at all. So I'm honestly like very happy that I found that community here. And like you said, through programs like Embark, our SOS design challenges and trips, those are honestly some great events where people can get another chance to be connected to the community. Do you have any highlights of things that you enjoy from MEP, Vangai?
From MEP, one thing I remember is when I was getting ready to go off to my first like research conference, I was like extremely nervous, but I frequent the MEP office and get like a lot of good advice about stuff like that. And it helped me not only like do well during that conference, but also just being a student researcher on campus. So I definitely appreciated having like mentors who are genuinely looking out for my best interest for sure.
I don't know, that sounds amazing. And honestly, it's a lot of stories like that that you get from people in MEP. There's always individual ways that the program has found ways to help people. It's not all the same, and it's insane how many different ways that you can benefit by being a part of it. One last shout out, if you have any questions about MEP in general or campus life, definitely reach out to our welcoming committee. Vangai mentioned it earlier, and I happen to be on it this year. We're doing series where people can come listen to webinars and ask questions. We're doing Instagram takeovers where you can ask about how people are doing. And we have a specific mentor for every admitted major. So you can reach out to individual people and ask very specific questions that like honestly don't have to be related to your major at all. It could be anything about the school. So definitely reach out. So moving on to RSL news, for SHIP, this week we have a pretty packed week with our SHIP Welcome Week. On Monday, we have our Breaking Stereotypes workshop with our graduate ambassadors. Some highlights too from SHIP Week. On Friday, we have our end of year picnic with Nesby, which I'm sure is gonna be a great time. I'm really excited for that. And then the following day, on Saturday, we have our SHIP banquet. If you haven't signed up, make sure to do so as soon as possible. And I hope to see you all there. It's gonna be a great time.
And then for Nesby, the election results should be announced within the next few days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. In addition to if there are any vacant positions that will be made known. So it's definitely great if you're still looking for like a little leadership opportunity for next year, that will be an option for you. We also have a couple of unclaimed crew necks. So if you ordered merch and you have yet to pick it up, definitely refer to the email that I sent out earlier or just contact me directly if you have any questions about that. And then as for the leaderboard that's been taking place over this entire academic year, the results will be announced for that this upcoming week. And the winners will be receiving a couple of gift card prizes. So that's always exciting, just for your participation over the semester. And then lastly, on Tuesday at 6 p.m., we're going to be having a joint info session with SHIP, and it'll be talking about how you can get involved in soft robotics research this upcoming fall semester. This is a lab that's run by a professor in bioengineering, and it pays $15 per hour. So definitely not a bad rate there. It's highly interdisciplinary, and they've specifically reserved spots for both NSBE and SHIP members. So they are looking for students just like you guys. But yeah, more information about applying will be released in the near future. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But that's all that we have for you guys this week. Please make sure that you join us again next week for our final episode of the semester. I know, so sad. But yeah, that's the scoop. I definitely started this wrong.
I don't think
The
you.
problem is
Good.
I switched hands. I normally go right. But anyways, that's another story.
You're good. I think that was good. I got a little nervous. I lost track of where we